springs forward with the drive rush. Lands the back throw. Time to go to work. Max SA gauges. Unbelievably in sync with the chance to score big here. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. Uses the target combo with, burnout triggered. Player 1 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Still scrapping for control of the space. Jumps up. Nice double lariat. Player opts for the critical art.
This is our destiny.
Still alive? Still alive?
Gets got.
Flatline zone. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. They're all fired up. We're almost underway.
Here's to a fair fight.
Hope you're not a sore loser.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Uses this opportunity to really lay into the opponent with a damaging combo. Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. Combo with the target combo. Knockdown. Their life is looking critical, and they can't rely too much on drive either. That was a perfect round. The other player didn't get anything started. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Fight.
Can't tech the throw? Torbaline! Player 1 got completely shut out that round. Can they make a comeback? So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Jumps in! Opts for the free flow kicks to get a drink in. Player 2 creates a good court, springs forward with the drive rush. The jump in catches them. Jumps up, knockdown, and goes for the rush. Throwing some shade. Uses the target combo as a fillet. A quick breather. Burnout! Expect the tempo of the match to change. Player 2 holding on to that corner advantage. Closing it out with a super art finish. Nice and clean. There it is. They knew it'd be enough. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Round 1. Fight.
Will we see our fighters fill each other out, or just let it fly in this opening round? Goes for the throw. Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. Uses a drive parry against the attack. Opts for the throw. What's the play here? Player 2 has them legit shook in the corner. Decides to go in with the target combo. Deals some sick damage, capitalizes on every mistake, and picks up the perfect KO. Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. Things are slow going right now, but he springs forward with the drive rush. What'll happen here? Drive rush to keep it going. Swagger step. Player 2 will look to apply pressure here. Luminous dive kick to throw him off. Player 2 holding on to that burnout. Expect the tempo of the match to change. Traps him with the wraps it up with a decisive combo. That was a clinic on how a solid neutral game wins matches.
Round 1. Fight.
This is crucial. The opening round is about to begin. Goes for the throw. Plenty of time left. How's the match going to play out? Any developments early in the round will set the table for the rest of the fight. Uses this opportunity to really lay into the opponent with a damaging combo. The combo's there. Backs them into the corner. Player 2 has them legit shook in the corner. Knockdown. Reads them. Solid combo. KO. Player 2 sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Round 2. Fight.
Checks with a medium kick. Brushes off the impact. This fight is just underway. What kind of game plan do they have? Knockdown. Player 2 chases them down. The throw missed. Both fighters planning something? Looking for a chance. Grabs and throws him away. Going in. Drive rush to keep it going. Ends the meter. Hoping for a good return. Is this gonna kill? Both fighters gotta roll up those sleeves and think of something. Blocking that KO. Well, listen, when you're locked in,
Here comes a new challenger.
give me that drama, give me that grime. Are y'all ready? It's fight night time.
Round 1. Fight.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? Good parry there, and the throw hits. Now the fun begins. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. What's the play here? The right idea, but lifts the air low. Both sides have full drive and plenty of health. Let's see how things open up. That attack landed for a counter hit. They'll have to decide how to follow up. Player 2 is maintaining the corner position for some juices and takes a big gamble and rips out a raw super. Player 1 is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. Takes a trip. Was looking for that jump attack. Sprints in. Player 1, the corner throw ends it. Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
The next round is beginning. What's gonna happen now? From up above. Combo with the target combo. Decides to meet them in the air. Player 1 blocking that drive impact isn't going to work. What'll happen here? Hits him with a vagabond edge. Player 1 needs to use the threat of the corner. Burnout! Expect the tempo of the match to change. Player 2 needs to use their SA gauge to their advantage here. Closing it out with a super art finish. Nice and clean. There it is. They knew it'd be enough. That's what happens when you capitalize on all of your chances. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow-up here? The jump in catches them. Okay, takes them all the way to the corner. Very nice anti-air there. They read their opponent like a book. All right, they throw them into the corner. They're looking to keep the pressure on and do some damage. What's the play here? Okay, creating some space here. Player 2 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Lands the forward throw. The corner pressure continues. Combo with the target combo. What a finish. Great read on the life gauge there. Player 2 on the board first with a win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Player 1, he brushes that off and keeps going. Digs in deep to get that drive in. Vagabond and sends them flying. Shows a medium kick. Side switch in the corner. Full SA meters on deck for both sides. This could be over. Ooh! Player 1, there's the drive impact that's going to lead to a juicy punish counter. Quick breather. Sneaks in above. Can they create an opportunity for themselves to seal the tricky hidden variable? Jumps up. Sets up with the jump in. Closes it out. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point.
Fight round. Fight.
Medium kick into, knocks him out of the air. Misses the grab. Boots him and takes a swing. Throws him from above. Throws him. Player one can't let this simmer. They gotta start cooking. Tries to catch him out with the arch snap. Sets up with the jump in. Player one with the rhythm, owning that pace. Spends it all on the super. Not shy one bit about it. Makes smart use of the game. Throws him. How long can this offensive assault continue? This is gonna hurt. Flatlines him. That was catch as catch can, as you're gonna get in a fight. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. No, not perfect. Parry. How will they follow up? Adds on a bit extra to that to make sure the opponent walks away with a full plate. Player one chases them down. Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. With the forward throw, the battle in the corner continues. The throw hits, now the fun begins. Box them with a target combo. Ooh, will they hit, whiff, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. The drink level's up to 4. All options are on the table. Takes a trip, KO. Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Things are slow going right now, but we may see someone speed things up soon. Player one will look to apply pressure here. Hits up the counter. This is going to be huge. Ups the damage on that by opting to go for the overdrive. Uses the gauge for a super arc. Ooh, Bushin Scramble's gonna leave them hurt. What'll happen here? Player two is working with a better gauge. What can they do? Ah, Burnout activates. Player two is not in a good place health-wise, but finishes with the throw. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win?
Final round. Fight.
Jumps up. Hits him with a nails the overdrive arrow kick. This is gonna hurt. They push their way out of the corner. What now? Change of plan. Too far for the throw to come in with the crosser. A jump in? This can lead to some big damage. Player one needs... Oh! Putting the cherry on top! Uh-oh. This could really tip the scale. A real test. Oh, burnout! Are you kidding me? Player one comes out on top of that fierce battle. Talk about a show, that match. This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A game to the table.
Fight.
The fight's now underway. This is Vicious with the play-by-play. Tries to throw, but doesn't connect. They gotta escape from the corner before the pressure builds up. With the forward throw, the battle in the corner continues. Hold your breath. Punishes that ill-timed attack with a driving attack. Very bad choice there. Can't tech the throw? This is where things will get interesting as the damage starts to pile up on both fighters. Knockdown. Player two creates a good corner opportunity. Dashes forward. With a super arc connect, Bushin beats assaults them from the air. But comes crashing down on them with some Bushin beat. KO! Player one picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Nice double lariat. Player 2 has a slight life lead that they may sit on. Double lariat, and now their life is hanging by a thread. They gotta leave heavy. Oh!
Final round. Fight!
It's time for both fighters to lay it all on the line. Gets them with the anti-air. Looking to impress with this super. Ooh, boosting scramble's gonna leave them hurt. Can they keep on him? Player 1, no way. No signs of letting up from out of the corner. Throws them. Player 1 can't let this simmer. They gotta start cooking. Ooh, what a smart throw. Player 2 still has a chance, but it's going to side switch. Amazing. Blocks the low kick. Crowns him from above. A real test of nerves here. There's a burnout. All the throw connects. What now? Player 2 is in a very good spot. They're just gonna go for it with the super. Player 2, I called it! I called it! What is it? Raw super art incoming. Who's gonna take it? Look at, no one could have called that. Player 2 has gotta be feeling good getting the win out of that absolute carnage. Excellent block. Jumps up. Sticks the combo. Neither of them willing to back off. Jump in, finds the mark. Deals some damage with that quick combo. Adds on a bit extra to that to make sure the opponent walks away with a full plate. Reads their mind and texts the throw. With the life gap opening up, they need to lean hard on their drive usage. Taking stock. Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity. That's some big juicy damage on that counter hit. Life lead opens up. Perfect read to get the finish with the low attack. Player 1 digs up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Gets the jump in. Jump. Vagabond and sends them flying. Bends the meter, hoping for a good return. Confirms the Bushin Ninja Star stun. The damage and attack boost off this will really tip things in their favor. Player 2 is in a pretty good situation with the meter event. Burnout! Expect the tempo of the match to change. Player 2 has the perfect KO. They were in full control there.
Kimberly wins.
That was a clinic on how a solid neutral game wins matches. So, what are our fighters planning in this opening round? Nothing but air for the impact. Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Deftly shuts out the jumper. Goes for the throw. There's a corner switch. What's the play here? All right, they throw them into the corner. They're looking to keep the pressure on and do some damage. Player 2 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Gets them. Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. That attack landed for a counter hit. They'll have to decide how to follow up. Player 1 chases them down. Side switch with a super art connect. Uses the target combo as a filler. Player 1 will need to play it conservative until their drive refreshes. Both fighters planning something? Tries to catch them out with the art step. Player side switch. Big throws. Player knockdown. Here comes the mix-up. Life lead is there, but still anyone's game. KO. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. The last round. It's now or never. Still plenty of time left. Ooh, you never know what can happen here. Risky up-close strike. It's a good spot to use the super. Bushin Ninja Star Sniper. This is how the Bushin Ryu roll. What now? And it is on. This is gonna hurt. Any throw will whiff at that range. Player 2 needs to take advantage of goes to the air. Carries them all the way to the corner in one go. Okay, perfect tap. Cross cross-up is denied! There's the burnout! Player 2 still has a chance, but it's going to be an uphill battle. Noticeable life lead is a comeback, still wraps it up with a throw! Player 1 faced the giant and walks away unscathed! What a win! They're still hungry, both sides stepping up for the rematch! Keeping them away! Takes them all the way to the corner with that. Big counter! Player 2 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Taking stock. KO! Player 2 sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up. Nice cross-up. Sticks the combo. Tries to catch him out with the arc step. Player 1 needs to use the threat of the corner here. Shows the medium kick. Drive gauge captured. Oh, burnout triggered. Player 1 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. Time to reassess the situation. Side switch in the corner. Nice double lariat. Player corrects them. How will they utilize this? Player 2 holding on to that corner advantage. And they created goes out of sight. Target locked and scoop. Critical art is on deck. Pack your bags. That was the highest if I've ever seen. Player 2 was an absolute beast in that match. Another rematch. These two are really getting into it. Combo with the target combo. The throw is escaped. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. They're really being worked over in the corner. Both fighters are sitting on a full drive gauge. This might be prime time to let it rip. The combo's there. There's a corner switch. Lands the forward throw. The corner pressure continues. Gets the tech, but how will they get out of this corner? Plenty of space between the fighters. What will be their approach? Somehow pushes back all the way to center stage. Life lead opens up. Adds a little super juice into this combo for more damage. Taking stock. Well aware of the life in meters. Really good decision making. Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out is so vital. Nice cross-up. Sets the shurikens off the panic hit. Risky up-close scrap still going. The low heavy is denied. Knockdown and player 1 will look to burnout activate. A quick breather. Player 1 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Grabs and throws him away. What'll happen here? Throw leaves them wide open. Both of our combatants are cooking up something. Tries to catch him out with the arc step. Hugs nothing but air. Are we gonna see it come? Wraps it up with a decisive combo. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build up some.
Comes a new challenger.
How's this match gonna shake out? It's gonna be exciting to see.
We've seen you on the scene. I am the pride of the Shivan.
Round 1. Fight.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? Checks with the projectile. Uses a drive parry against the attack. Uses this opportunity to really lay into the opponent with a damaging combo. Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. There's a corner switch. Deals some sick damage there in exchange for some meter. Denies the jumping attack with a jumping attack of their own. Player 2 can't let their drive gauge run out. They need to find a way to reset the super art activated. Expect something big here. Can't tech the throw? Burnout! Expect the tempo of the match to tank.
Stay down.
Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Slides and goes for the legs. Neither fighter can use their drive move. How will they close out the round? Closing KO. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Round 2. Fight.
Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first.
Eh? What the?
Oh, whiff the throw. Still very early in the round. Adds a little super juice into this combo for more damage. Uses the game for the super. They're not playing around here.
Farewell.
Both fighters getting that extra juice with Kagero no Mai. Player 2 will need to play it conservative until their drive refreshes. They're backed up into the corner. Perfect KO. They were in full control there.
Kimberly.
Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Round
Right
1.
back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Overdrive. The low heavy hits. Any developments early in the round will set the table for the rest of the fight. Player 2 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. Ooh, will they hit, whiff, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. The jump in is denied. Knockdown takes a big gamble and rips out a raw super. Crucian beats assaults them from the air. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. Hidden variable? Taking stock. Does a good job of pushing back. They were not cleared for takeoff. Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
Picks up the counter. This is going to be huge. Very slick with the combo. Medium kick hits. Jumps up. Player 2 is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. Knockdown and drive gauge gap here. Player 1 needs to use the predator looking to impress with this super. Going binomial theorem with a boosting strength. Going in, but forward throw. Laying the pressure on thick. Player 2, draw critical. What's gonna happen? Yo, we're dealing with a real gambler here. Low on life and is still willing to risk it all on this critical art to deal the cash money damage they need. What's next? Quick medium punch. Both of them back off. They may need the forward run. Closes it out. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now.
Out there.
Final round. Fight.
Decides not to rush in without a plan. Who will come out on top in this final round? Oh, bends the meter, hoping for a good return. Crucian beats assaults them from the air. What will they do next? Arc step! What now? Both fighters desperately want meter here. Player 1 with the lead. Will they go add the bit of OD spice? Player 1 knockdown. Here comes the mix-up. Player 1, ooh, does them dirty. Okay, here we go. Links it. Vagabond Edge connects. The jump in is denied. Vagabond forever elevator. Burn out, but they may have a plan here. Going in. Doesn't take the throw. Player 1 gets the win in a convincing fashion. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. That's a counter. Turns it up a notch and sends them to the corner. Big, low, reaching heavy. There's a corner switch. Utilizes an overdrive art there to tack on just a little more damage. No good up high. That attack landed for a counter hit. They'll have to decide how to follow up. What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Heading into the end game now, it's getting tense. Taking stock. In there! Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Round 2. Fight!
Opts to create space to start. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. The jump-in is denied. The corner makes it hard to escape. What'll be the setup here? Knockdown and experiencing burnout. Player 2 is in burnout. Drives off the tape, got him up against the wall, and the stun is there. It's a good spot to use the super. Uses the gauge for the super. They're not playing around here. Wow, that's the fighting up the skies with Kagero no Mai. Player 1 in there. That was a clinic on how a solid neutral game wins matches.
Here comes a new challenger.
Y'all better have your Sunday's best on because it's time for business.
We're seeing you on the scene. I am the pride of the Shiranui.
Round 1. Fight!
The fight's now underway. This is Vicious with the play-by-play. Decides to go in with the target combo. There's a drive rush to throw the opponent off balance. Okay, takes them all the way to the corner. Still slugging it out here. Trips him up. Holds out with the block. Good job blocking the jumping. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Combo with the target combo. Just out of range for that throw. The jump-in is denied. Life lead opens up. Shoots off a fireball up close. Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity. There's a wall splat. They can't do anything now. Getting that extra juice in with Kagero no Mai. Player 1 has depleted their drive lead, but they are still with their stun. All they need to come from the brink like that? What a comeback. Player 2 with the first strike, but they can't get complacent.
Round 2. Fight!
Goes for the jump in to start. Who's going to start things off? Player 1 chases them down. Our fighters got up close and personal last round and really took it to each other. Let's see if they can keep up the pressure. Player 2 is going to have a hard time managing their drive. Jumps in. What'll happen here? They're going for the super hard, flying through the air with the greatest of ease and hits him with the Chohisatsu Shinobi Bachi. Genius read. Goes with the stick, looking to impress with this super. Uses the gauge for the super. They're not playing around here. Knockdown and anticipated that throw. Burnout activates. That back row was huge. Player 2 needs to use the threat of the corner here. Closing moments of the match. One hit's gonna do. Oh, they got him! We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win?
Final round. Fight!
Quick medium poke. Barely blocks the jump in. Which blocking that drive impact isn't going to work. Take the enemy shields and get that buff. The attack continues. Okay, here we go. Yo, Rock, super hit. No resources to work with. They gotta do this the old-fashioned way. The flame blade and body over in a flash. Player 2 faced the giant and walked away unscathed. What a win! It's not over yet. Let's believe it's time for that run back. Checking their reactions with a fireball. The low doesn't connect. Goes for a drive rush. They're looking to keep on the offensive for as long as possible. Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. That's some big juicy damage on that counter hit. Grabs him, knockdown. Well-timed corner switch. The super armor does its job. Player 2 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Changes the pace with an air dare. That was a tough cross-up. Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with?
Round 2. Fight.
Steps back to start things off. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Dashes a smart play to stop the opponent. Hits up the counter. This is going to be huge. Hits them with a vagabond edge. Player 2 needs to use the threat of the corner here. This is a complete shutdown. They can't escape. Oh, burnout. Did they mean to do that? Still scrapping for control of the state. Off for the critical large. Hana Sakura hits. Mai's gonna show you just why they call her the alluring Kunoichi. Nippon Ichi! Player 2 has depleted low heavy. The throw is denied. They gotta dig down, don't freeze them like a book and take them out. Player 2 faced a giant and walked away unscathed. What a win! How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow-up here? The throw whips. Barely blocks the jump-in. Blocks the low heavy. Oh! Gets a good read on their opponent. Player 2 in that dangerous burnout state. Backs them into the corner. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. What are they thinking here? This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with something. Starts with a jump in. Just out of range for that throw. Squeezes the gauge. Hits with the overhead. Blocks the low heavy. Gets him. Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
Round 2. Fight.
Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. They hit each other. Gets the jump in. Creates an opening with a low heavy. Hits them with a vagabond edge. Super arts on deck for both fighters. How they approach the situation will be interesting. No knockdown as the low heavy is blocked. Burnout activates. Knockdown and player 2 in dire straits with burn. The throw connects. Life lead is there, but still anyone's game. Player 1 has a chance to win the round if they can put their drive to good use. Fights out of the corner. Back to passes out the cage right there. Ninja Star Cypher. Get ready to be plugged in for some new era ninjutsu. Amazing. Takes the enemy shield. Closes it out. Player 2 faced a giant and walked away unscathed. What a win.
Comes a new challenger.
How's this match gonna shake out? It's gonna be exciting to see.
We've seen you on the scene. I am the pride of the Shiranui.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? They gotta escape from the corner before the pressure builds up. Will the drive parry here open things up for them? Blocks the jump in. That's some big juicy damage on that counter hit. Strings it all together. All right, what's coming up next? Holds out with a block. Grabs them, takes a trip. Their life is looking critical, and they can't rely too much on drive either. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. Knockdown. This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with something. Will this super art connect? That's not gonna hit. Player 2 is gonna have to wait for that drive gauge. Can they stick it out? Each hit is so important here. In there! Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
Round 2. Fight.
Opts to create space to start. This round is so important. You can feel the intensity in the air. Was looking for that jump attack. Okay, they trade hits. Both fighters planning something. Manages to block the jump-in attack. You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Opts to continue the attack with the drive. Slides and goes for the leg. Clint hits him with a stop and pop. Goes for the jump-in. Super Arts on deck for both fighters. Looking to impress with this super. Start the tune. The Kimberly's ready to feast. Bushin Ninja Star Cypher. And this is only the beginning. Player 1 needs to use the critical art now. Gets the counter hit for the win. They're so good at whip punishing. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Jumps in. Can't tech the throw. Parries the attack. There's a corner switch. Maintains composure and pushes out of the corner. Uh-oh. Falls short. Dangerous range here. You don't want to get jumped on a long recovery move or you're going to eat tons of damage. Throws them to negate the block. Holds out with the block. The grab misses. Heats it up with a combo into super. Player 2 must be feeling good after that super, but they gotta keep on the gas. Let's see how they apply their corner pressure in this situation. Player 1 will want to take advantage of their meter lead while experiencing burnout. Player 2 is gonna have to wait for that drive gauge. Can they stick it out? From upstairs! Oh, burnout triggered! Wraps it up with a decisive combo. Player 1 with a good start to the fight, but can they keep it up?
Round 2. Fight.
Opts to create space to start. The next round is beginning. What's gonna happen now? Vagabond and sends them flying. Adds a little super juice into this combo for more damage. Comes crashing down on them with some Bushin beats. Can they keep on him? Player 2 can't use any drive moves without burnout activating. A quick breather. Player 2 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Hits him with a Vagabond edge. You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. In there! Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow-up here? The attack is parried. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Can they use the corner to mount a comeback? Good anti-air. All right. Close them. What's next? Player 1 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Solid combo. They've been pushed into the wall and the stun's there. Getting that extra juice with Kagero no Mai. Player 2 chases them down. Barely blocks the jump-in. Finishes with the throw. Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with?
Round 2. Fight.
They exchange blows. The next round is beginning. What's gonna happen now? Jumps? Tries to catch him out with the arc step. Fights out of the corner, back to the center of the stage. Uses their looking to impress with this super. Bushin Scramble's gonna leave them hurt. A quick breather. Player 2 is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. Their drive gauges are looking bare. You've gotta be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Burnout! Expect the tempo of the match to change. Player 1 will have it's a good spot to use the super. Throws them. Player 2 will look to apply pressure. Just goes for it at this range. Player 2 holding on to that corner doesn't tempt the throw. Player 2 made all the right moves, and this experience is only gonna make them stronger. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Time to get down to business. The first round starts now. Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. The combo's there. The throw is escaped. Still slugging it out here. Box him with a target control. Their life is looking critical, and they can't rely too much on drive either. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistake. KO! Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Round 2. Fight.
Immediate jump in. Can't tech the throw. Player 2 chases them down.
Getting that extra juice in your Kagero no Mai.
Will that super be the turning point? Barely blocks the jump in. The overhead connects. Gets the back throw to turn things around. Side switch in the corner. The Big Bang Kachoshin comes out. Player 1 needs to use the threat of the corner here. Gets the combo. Blocks it. Noticeable life lead is a comeback still. Ooh, what a smart throw. Looking for a hold. Not much movement. What?
Anti-air. Tricky hidden variable.
Reversal. Solid anti-air. Gets him with a Euro step. Can either of these fighters finish the round with an elbow burnout? But they may have a plan here. Genius read with that throw escape. Time to go for throw. What are they gonna do? Reads the jump in perfectly. Player 1 is in a very good spot now. There's the burnout. Not going anywhere. Just what they were after. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us.
Here comes a new challenger.
We're in for something special right here, right now.
Round 1. Fight.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? Ooh, what's this? The move whips and they get nailed with a punish counter. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Nice solid counter. We are near the end of the round. Can either fighter pull a rabbit out of their hat here? Holds out with the block. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Well-timed corner switch. Life lead opens up. Okay, they trade hits. Player 1 can't afford mistakes without that drop in there. Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
2. Fight.
They exchange blows. Who's going to start things off? Jumps up. Both fighters are looking for a way to get in, but there's still time to feel out the situation. Full SA heats it up with a combo into super.
That's the 3 bars for Shiranui and Uhanazakura. Mine's looking to separate body and soul.
Player 2 needs to use the threat of the corner here. Uses the target, uses the gauge for a super art. Uses the gauge for the super. They're not playing around here.
Farewell.
Going in? Player one might have just shifted this round into high gear.
Perfect execution with the anti-air.
In with the cross. Okay, throws them. How long can this offensive assault continue?
Player two is in a very good spot.
Burn out, but they may have a plan here. What a finish! This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks.
Work out there.
Final round. Fight.
This can lead to some big damage. The last round. It's now or never.
Vagabond Edge connect.
Crowns them from above. Player one with the rhythm.
Oh, putting the cherry on top. Brings them from above with the broken beast.
Amazing. Sets up with the jump in. Player perfectly executed.
Woo, I dare you to find me a better match than that. Get up and tell them what's good.
They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Medium kick hits. Sends the shuriken off the panic. Gets the parry in and adds some pressure. Down to the wire. Player two chases them down. Taking stock. Gets the counter hit throw. Player one is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. How much damage can they deal before the opponent's drive gauge replenishes? Holds out with the block. Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent by zoning with fireball. They're jostling for the dominant position in the corner. The jump in is denied. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with something. Backs away. Not about that BFF life right now. Player one chases them down. Blocks the ambiguous cross-up. What's the next move? Not much life left. The drive gauge difference kicks in there. Player one picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. This round is so important. You can feel the intensity in the air. Had the radar up and running. Heats it up with a combo into super. Start the tune.
Because Kimberly's ready to feast. Bushin Ninja Star Cypher. And this is only the beginning. That's the 3 bars for Shiranui and Anazakura. Mine's looking to separate body and soul.
Drive rush to keep it going. Doesn't miss a beat. Barely blocks the jump in.
Drop that off.
Baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. That burns out. Genius read with that throw escape. Player one can't use any drive moves. Gotta play it. Blocks the drive reversal. The drive gauge is throw tech. Close range reads the jump in perfectly. This is a critical moment. Flatline zone. Player one
Gets the win in a convincing fashion.
It's not over yet. I believe it's time for that run back. Gets the jump in. Takes him all the way to the corner with that. Player one has the life lead. What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Low heavy hits. Mix up incoming. Knockdown. Their life is looking critical, and they can't rely too much on drive either. The damage is really piling. Gets them. Player one on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
Goes for the jump in to start. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Jump. Gets carried to the corner. The overhead connects. Brushes that off and keeps going. Uses their drive to maximize their damage. Burnout! Expect the tempo of the match to change. Knockdown and player one is barely hanging in there. But super art? Oh, no question whether this super art is going to kill or not. Taking no prisoners. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now.
Not good enough.
Final round. Fight.
Uses their drive gauge. Final round. Who will the fighting game gods favor here? In with the crosser. Goes with the
Super art to show them what a PhD fighters can do for you. Spends it all on the super. Not shy one bit about it.
Player 2 needs to wait this out. Back is his throw tech.
Arc step.
Okay, the overhead
Denied.
connects with the throw.
Calculated.
Breaks through with the throw. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic.